here we are again. So we're back at it. You've probably, when I did my anchor resin video, I did mention that I wanted to put some flashings on here to stop the wind from trying to blow, because there's a gap and it's trying to lift the roof. So if you put flashings on, it should help hold it down because the wind's not trying to get in underneath. So what I did the other day, when Ruby were here, I'll try and put a picture in of it. I put some threaded bar with the anchor resin in. I did one there, two here, and then I did the same on this side. One there, one down at this corner, and there's another one just there. Because I could just get away with putting two threaded bars and then one big piece of wood, but it'll be too heavy for me to handle on my own. And if I put two lumps in, I can just do a bit at a time without having to do it all in one go. So I haven't put the threaded bar in the top. I need to do that. And sorry about the wind, I know it's a bit terrible. Hope you can hear me. It's actually the 1st of September, so everything's downhill now. Summer's practically over, which is quite depressive. Great Depression's on. So what I'm doing is, I've just put that piece of wood inside the threaded bar, lined it up, knew where to drill the holes. I'll take it back down. I'm going to creosote it and oil it and do, because you want it to last for a good amount of time. And then we'll put it back up and we'll wait till Ruby's here at the weekend. We'll get the machine back, IBC, she can lift me up, and then we can bolt them in, tighten them up, and then they're there permanent, and drill the last two threaded bars in with the anchor resin. So I'll get the other one, because I can do that. Do this side. The ladder, it's an old wooden ladder. It's very heavy. It hasn't let me down yet, but yeah, it's good for a job like this. But if I wanted to get right up on the top, I'd be bricking it. So what I'm going to do now is take that one down, because we know that one's lined up, and then we'll do this side. And now all that's left is them little bits, but we'll leave it at that now. We've done what we can. I'll take that back down. I've got them in shed, and we'll creosote them too, and then they're done. And then all that's left to do is tighten bolts up and everything. Which it looks a good job that we have done, because it looks like it's going, heavens are going to open in a minute. I'll catch you in 2 seconds when I'm back here doing it again. Hopefully the weather's a bit nicer. Well, this makes it a lot easier. This is a thing that I made about 2 years ago, was an IBC cage. It's not, you know, it didn't take much brain for it. It's just you take the tub out, and then I've got a cage standing. I've got it chained to pallet tines, so if it tilts down, it's not going to fall off the tines. So yeah, all we need to do now is put wood on. So there's one done. I'm just going on to the other side. I have double nutted these as well, so it's not like locking nuts. So I'll just do that side. And there's the second one done. And then all that's left's that bit. So what we're doing now is, we're doing the threaded bar with the anchor resin again. Up right at the top bit, because since we've already done them ones, it needs some here. So we're going to try and do that. And it's the highest bit, so load of tractor will reach. It's just the operator that needs, she's in there, it's just the operator that needs a bit of steady hand. think Ruby thinks we're at the fair now on a ride, because I'm running a taxi service, aren't I? So I'm back here this morning. It's been 2 days since you've seen me just put them threaded bars in when Ruby had me lifted, and I'm back and we've made a bit more progress. And since we've got to go higher, I've got health and safety on job. I've brought tractor, put weight block against the aluminium ladder that I've brought. Instead of the wooden ladder, I've put the aluminium one because it'll be a lot safer. And so we've managed to get the wood cut to the right length, and we've put the threaded bar through. Now it ain't right up against it because it's really tight. So it's really tight to try and push it. It'll go on if I hammer it on, but I'm not going to do that, because if I end up hammering it on, I did it when I did the others. I did one and I regretted it because I couldn't get it back off for creosote it and do. So what we'll do is I'll take that back down because I know it fits and I've drilled holes in the right place. Because I don't know if you can see, but there is a tiny bit of threaded bar sticking out of that hole. So it does line up. So I'll take it down, creosote it, then when Ruby's back, we'll get up in IBC, hammer it on, and then I can put the nuts on and the washers. And I'll also cut the one for the other side for here, but I won't go all the way up. I'll just go past the threaded bar a little bit. It doesn't have to join up or anything. So yeah, we're getting there. So again, you'll see me when Ruby's back in. We've got the IBC cage back. And we're back. So hopefully we can do this. It's just before milking time on the weekend, so hopefully I can get them two thrown on. So we're back here this morning and I've just angle grinded them threaded bars off that I didn't need yesterday because I forgot to bring the angle grinder with me. So I've just been back, done that, and now we're ready for flashing. We might just, I think we're only going to do one today because, you know, we're not mentally there yet to do both of them. So if we do one and then see how we go on, then we'll do the other one maybe next weekend. Voila! Teamwork makes the dream work. I could not be happier at that. Could not be happier. Yeah, just before the rain, Ruby says. It always comes from over there and it looks like it's coming miserable. You see, I had to square the screws up where the roofing sheets already were. So there's 3 sticking up at the top. There's one right at the top, there's one in the middle, and there's one near the bottom. Because the wood, it was depending where the wood already were. So the woods that I've put up, them 2 lumps of 6x2, I was able to bang as much screws in as I want. I can keep banging them in for God knows till life's content. But at the top I can't, I've only got limited, I can't go anywhere where there is no screws, and I don't know how far the right hand side I could go with the top sided screws, because I don't know how far wood goes in. Since it goes into the wall, I don't want to be hitting brickwork and then left with a hole in flashing. So yeah, I'm happy at that. Ruby's bringing the cage back. I don't know how I'd do it without the cage. I mean, you would not even try and do that without the ladder, on a ladder. That cage were worth its weight in gold, that. And Ruby for lifting me up, because I don't know, it'd be hard doing it on you. But like, it's going to start raining this afternoon, so I wanted to do this morning. We'll do the other one next weekend when Ruby's here, because it's a Sunday. So yeah, because she goes home on a Sunday ready for work on the Monday. So yeah, we'll leave it till next week. We'll see how that one goes. It'll probably blow off when it starts raining, knowing my luck. So yeah, we'll catch you when I'm doing the next one on the other side. Thank you, everyone. So this is what I've been spending my afternoon doing, putting sawdust down, because it's been chucking it down and I don't think cows will be going out tonight. So yeah, just getting things ready for winter. It's quite windy too, so that flashing best be still on. And we're back again the next weekend, and what a lovely weekend it is. And hopefully this is the last day of doing it, because we want to try and get this side on. But there may be a few problems. For starters, this side's lifting a bit. If you can see, there's a gap. And when I was up there last, that you just saw me put the last flashing on, I tried to see if it had pushed down, and it won't. So what I'll have to do is, there's a screw just up there. I might have to take it off and put the flashing underneath it, because the last one, it went over the top of that ridge. Now I know it should have gone underneath, but I wanted it over the top so it'd help hold it down, because they're quite brittle since I've been up there since Godwell lad. So it really wanted going over the top, I'd have preferred, because any water that did run straight off and underneath, it would have just ran down the sheets like normal, so it wouldn't have made a big difference, and there wouldn't have been much like a drop, hardly out. So what I might have to do is go underneath on this one. We'll just have to see what happens. But Ruby's gonna come and lift me, and we'll take the screw out, because there's a screw, and then we'll see how we can get, and then put the flashing on. It's the 20th of September today. And I know I started this, well, the first clip that you saw was the 1st of September. So it's taken me nearly a month to do this. So yeah, hope you appreciate it. So this is where we're up to. As you can see, I've gone underneath the top ridge bit, but yeah, we're going there. We've got one screwing at the bottom end and one on the top, but we thought I'd get off and just have a look, make sure everything's running alright. So you're probably asking what I'm doing with this thick bitumen. Well, that's what it is, thick bitumen. It's because the bit right in the middle up there, so this bit has got the piece of wood showing. So what I'm going to do is bitumen, plaster all this area in it so it just protects it from going rotten, because that'll just get the wind and the rain, and it won't do it any harm, but because it'll dry itself out, but it'll just protect it for that bit longer. So I'm back here now, it's been a few days, and I'll show you what the verdict is. Finally finished, but as you can see at the top, you'd probably say it's a bit of a mess. But we're not going for aesthetics on this bit of a job, because at the end of the day it's an old barn. So you can get the proper apex bit of flashing, the bit that goes in the middle. I'll try and put a picture in. But we haven't done that because, again, it's cost, and also I don't think I'd be able to do it because of that top ground ridge at the top. So what I've just done is put bitumen in, get thick bitumen that's very good for waterproofing stuff, and just for this job it'll keep water off that wood that was sticking out, like I showed you. So that was the main reason really, and it'll just help protect it for a few extra years. So work down here at this old barn now, I think we've done enough for this year. Put door on the previous videos, and that piece of steel to hold it on. Now we've done flashings. I did the other side last year, but there's only one side that I did because the other's up against another like building, an old barn, so I didn't have to do that. So I'll go around there and show you that now. So that was last year. So that's the shed where a tedder goes, and I did that last year as well. But that's where I've been, and that's where I did also last year. So I've done 3 flashings last year, and I've done 2 this year. This side that I've been doing on video was a lot harder this year because last time I had the other roof to stand on, of course with boards and that for safety, but I had to go up in the cage for this side that I've been doing, so it was a bit harder trying to lift the flashing up and everything, but we've got there in the end. We've got screws in, hopefully it'll last for years, fingers crossed. Now it's empty inside and everything, but and it's probably a waste of time doing this, but it's always an option to use it. You know, maybe one day. I've always liked doing a few little bales. We used to do little square bales years ago, and I enjoyed doing it. And if we ever did any more, you need storage to pour them inside. Be lovely to put some in there. I mean, I wouldn't want fillet because it'd take some fillet, 1,000 maybe, fill that. So yeah, and you see William's giving these down here some hay that we've got back at farm, and if we ever put little square bales in here, I know you'd use them over winter or whatever, and it'd be easier get a little square bale out of there for feed these, because they're up there eating out ring feeder, and it'd be easier to do that than keep running all the way back to the farm for a round bale and bringing it up here. So there's always different options. I mean, it's always there. Just worth saving, it's worth looking after, because this at one time used to be a cow shed. ladders, it's a bit messy, but you know, it's there's work to be done. But as you can see, there's concrete there higher and it's lower on this side, so you'd have your cows up this side tied up, because there used to be a water bowls. There's one there where there used to be one, where the bolts are. And I think, if I'm right, I'll just count how many there are. So there's 11 water bowl, old where there used to be, 11 water bowls. So they must have had 11 cows at least in this tied up. And what you'd do is, since the door's in the perfect place, you'd brush it out, scrape it out, take it out, and cows would be clean. And there used to be a loft on here, so my dad said, but you can tell, because here there's a piece of wood that sticks out, and there's different ones also, but some have also come out because they've gone rotten. There's a hole there where there used to be one, and what it used to be, where I reckon there were a piece of wood sticking in wall, and then there were a piece of wood up, and then you'd put your floor in. And also at this side, ignore that because I'm making the door, this used to be a railing, that piece of wood that's dangling down, I've cut it off, and you used to go up onto a loft. Now I wouldn't be surprised if there used to be holes cut out at the front, to drop your hay down. So instead of taking a bale of hay up there, fruit door, back downstairs and round, you'd be a hole cut out in the floor or whatever, and you'd drop it down in front of the cow. That's a good way of doing it. I've seen them done like that. And so it just saves you having to maul a bale up way round and mess about. But that's how they used to do it. And it's amazing how they built them, because you imagine it's not like a steel frame shed, because you just put your posts in, concrete panels, tin screwed into wood, do it in a day or two, put roof on, jobs are good. These, you imagine the amount of work that went into just building this wall behind me. You've got your cement, you've got to go and get the stone. I mean, it wouldn't be cement back then, but just how they did it was just a work of art. And even this up here, you can tell it used to have a slate roof on. It weren't a normal big six roofing sheets or whatever, tin sheets. It were just slates, and it was just what people knew. And it's amazing the craftsmanship that's gone into stuff like this, and it's worth saving because it's part of the countryside's history. You look up and down the countryside, wherever you are, there's buildings just like there, and someone's dedicated their life to building them and also working in them. You know, it'd been hard work back then, like cleaning cows out through that door. No tackle, what you have today, big yard scrapers or slats or anything. It were all using these, and it was just, I'd take me hat off to them. I mean, how they did it, it's amazing. And it's sad to see, if you see buildings like this go into dilapidation and get derelict and sort of get lost in the past. That's why I like to sort of save them. That's why I've spent probably a lot of time and waste of money doing, you know, putting them flashings on and making door and putting a bit of cement in holes. But at the end of the day, flashings are cheaper than a whole new roof. You know, if it just keeps wind from blowing at gable end, for me it's worth it just to keep holding roof down for a bit longer. I have spent last winter creosoting all the beams. I'm not doing them individual ones because I'm not pushing myself there, but I've done the beams, and it's sad to see them go into dilapidation and get lost, because this is where it all started, farming in one of these. You know, I mean, you had 12 cows in here. Back then it was probably a lot. Now, if you put 12 cows in here, it won't be viable, because you're not going to make, it's too much hard work, especially now because the staff isn't there and just technology's the way it is. It'd be very hard. But what I've always thought about doing is this field with heifers in that you saw behind me. If you ever put sheep and lambs in there, or you put some lambs in there, like what I do over winter when you wean them, if you put them in field at back and it came bad weather, you could always open the door and let them come in here. Just leave the door open. No matter, look, they probably won't come in, they'd rather die of frostbite out there. But if you leave the door open, you've got a bit of shelter, you could put a bit of hay in here, you know. It's always there as an option. So, yeah, that's why I've probably done all I've done. So I hope you've enjoyed this bit of a video. Yeah, something different. I've done all I can for now. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if it's a bit long. Sorry if I didn't film much of actually screwing the flashings on. I kept asking Ruby to do a little clip when she was on tractor because I was a bit busy trying to out flashing and screw it in, and my mind were on other things, because if you drop one of them flashings, game over. Because they're just brittle. Well, they're not brittle, but they just crack, and it'd be a waste of time then. So, yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everyone.